You're here because you want to hear the tea. The tea of me taking 18 credits. I need to take a deep breath about this because I don't know what I was thinking. Okay. Alright, kidding. Not as much. I don't really regret it. I am able to handle it, but let's just say barely. Hi, hello, you guys. My name is Ash, and welcome to. I don't know, this is not a series, so I don't know how to do the introduction. I'm still getting there. So, a little bit of backstory. I am a freshman in college, and I was taking, like any regular student, 15 credits last semester. And since I do go to a community college, I decided that I wanted to graduate a little bit early. And for that, I had a calculation of how many courses I need to take, when I need to take them, how many prerequisites there are, and like how to manage it. So I did the whole scheduling the very first semester, actually even before I entered college. I did the entire calculation because that's just who I am. I like to plan and everything, and 100% recommended. If you are in college and if you haven't planned out your courses, please don't wait on the advisor. And if you want me to make a whole video about this, I can. But anyways, the plan was to take 18 credits my spring semester of freshman year. And here I am, kinda like 1 month in. So I have found my pace of how I do the stuff. But do I recommend it? How is it going for me? How am I doing? How do I manage my time? You gotta watch the video for that. The reason why I decided to take 18 credits is because I want to graduate a semester early from community college, which means I want to get my community college degree, associate's degree, in 3 semesters instead of 4. So I don't know how that's going to work, but based on my calculation from my knowledge, it required me 18 credits to this semester to be able to do that, or at least get closer to it, right? And I thought to myself that since I'm home and I just do online schooling, I don't really go out much, like I will be able to handle the workload. But what I did not take into account is that life constantly changes, and there are things in life that you do not expect to come your way, but they do, and then it's a little bit of challenge. That exactly is what happened to me. I last semester was taking very decent. I was taking 15 credits and they were not a lot of workload. Let's just say I could finish my homework in 3 days out of the whole week and I'll be done with it. So the 4 days out of the week, I was basically free to do whatever I wanted to do. And not commuting actually helped a lot with it because I was just staying at home, doing my homework whenever I wanted. So I decided that I liked the idea of online schooling, the online courses. I really don't care about going on campus as much other than like the networking and everything, for which I do go to campus, but for the courses itself, I decided that I'm just gonna take 1 more semester online. Here I am, 1 month in, and it's just a lot going on. A little bit of what unexpected thing happened is I am actually more socially involved this semester, which I did not think of last semester. If you watch my videos from last semester, I started in November, so I was towards the end of my first semester. You will see that I was very much focused on my personal growth and like a lot of like self. I was very isolated and I liked it that way. But this semester, I just happened to be in a lot of relationships. Okay, that sounds wrong. I just happened to be involved in a lot of my friendships and relationships. It takes a lot to give them time, and like just my family, I'm working towards being more closer to my sister, so being there for her. And then 18 courses, I'm also doing an assistantship. I thought I would be able to handle it, and I am, but it is taking a lot of my energy, which is making me post less on social media. I still haven't had a chance to figure out my schedule. I'm in the process of it, so bear with me about that. But it not is necessarily a regret for me, but I think I did not expect it to be this stressful or overwhelming for me. The idea of overdoing things and like being ahead all the time, planning and always putting more on your plate than you can handle, which you will never know until you do put a lot of things on your plate. It's just, I think it's teaching me a lesson. I have always been the person who would take a lot on myself and stress myself out, and then I just happen to like not be able to make it to all of those things that I've committed myself to. Maybe the reason why I'm making this video, I want to keep it short, but the reason why I'm making this video is to any other perfectionist person who wants to get ahead in life. And I am still proudly the person who wants to get ahead in life. I always talk about success here. I always talk about making the decisions for your future self, etc., etc. So I am still that person. But I'm telling you that please consider, if it's taking 18 courses, and that's just one of the examples of overdoing yourself and like putting a lot on your plate. If you're doing that, please make sure that you consider all other aspects of your life that have not changed or will be changing. I think that's where I fell short. I did not really consider myself being in a lot of like friendships and relationships. Like, not in that way. I did have friendships and relationships, but be this much involved in it was not really my plan. I was super focused on myself, but life is tend to change. And if it changes for you, I think you have to have you have to be ready to be able to accept it and manage your workload accordingly. Another thing I realized is my planning was slightly a little too unrealistic. Now hear me out, okay? I'm a perfectionist. I like to push myself to do things. I'm very ambitious, I believe so. And that's why I was like, okay, I can manage this. When I was planning my courses, I knew I was putting a lot of practical, like time-consuming things in my schedule for spring 2025. 4 out of the 6 courses are very time-consuming, and they require multiple days of you working on it and learning the material to be able to succeed in that class. I knew that. If it were like 6 courses that were like easy as music, that's another story, right? But I knew that for me, I like to learn the material that is given to me, and I don't like to cheat. So naturally, I would like want to spend the time that is required to be able to learn the material. And they were not lying. Math does take you 2 to 3 hours to finish one homework assignment, and you cannot do it quicker. It doesn't work that way. You need to do the math, and if you're not cheating, it's gonna take you that time, right? So I think my point being is, if you are someone who knows that it's gonna be a lot for you, and you just vaguely, without even considering actual planning, like without even actually considering your day-to-day routine with that schedule, like genuinely, right? Because that's where I fell short. If you're just vaguely saying no, oh, I'll be able to handle it, it's whatever, like it's fine, which is what I did because I like to challenge myself, I don't know how that's gonna serve you. Because I kid you not, I would say that it's 1 month in and I am overwhelmed, because last semester I was ahead in everything, and I'm not behind in anything this semester, luckily, because I've been keeping track of my work even though I'm overwhelmed. But what I'm trying to say is, I used to get my work done in 3 days. By Wednesday, it comes on Monday, by Wednesday I'm done for the whole week, right? It takes me from this Monday up until next Tuesday, which is when most of my deadlines are, to finish my homework. And that personally just affects me, because I don't like to keep things until the last day of, but there's just no other way with balancing your social life and your whatever other activities that are going on to be able to shorten that length. So be kind to yourself is what I want to say, because this is what I keep telling myself. It is not the same workload. It is not the same courses as the first semester. These things take more time. I'm not, for whatever reason, behind just because I'm going normal pace and not extremely fast. I don't know if that makes sense, because if you're a person like me, you want to get everything done and just don't worry about it later. Like, you get it done the day you get it. But if you are not able to do it, I just want to say that it's okay. And if you need more time to figure out the best way that it works for you, or if normal pace is the way it works for you because of the new transition and new priorities and responsibilities, you are not a bad person and you're not going to fail in your life. That's all I want to say. So those were the 2 realizations and a little bit of like gentle advice, reminder, whatever you want to call it. Now I want to show you a little bit of my actual schedule in a way that I manage my time along with my social relationships. And let's just start with saying that I'm not perfect and I am not on here to be a guru. So I am just someone who is learning with you. So if it resonates with you, do subscribe and like learn with me, grow with me. If not, it's okay. I hope you can still take away something from this. Yeah, that's to that. Let's get started. I recently took on a little bit of volunteering kind of role for my field, which takes me about an entire day. And then I have my assistantship, which takes me another entire day if you count the hours each day. And then that leaves me with 5 days of like time to do my homework and then other activities that I need to see my family and whatever. That's basically what my week looks like. Now, when it comes to studying, I like to start with the things that are easy and I know will not take me a lot of time. So, if I were to level my classes in terms of how much time it takes and how difficult it is for me to grasp the concepts, so if we were to rank, number 6, the lowest would be music, because it's literally, I think, one discussion and then test and discussion test, that's it. So, music, and then it would be English. It's usually discussion or like something, some minor thing, but I usually don't take that long writing things. So personally, English would be number 5. Number 4 would be micro, because I think it's just easy for me. I have taken macro in high school and it's very similar content, so it's just easy, like I understand it pretty quick and it's just one assignment like a week. And then would be info systems, which is basically learning about Excel. That is, the lessons are usually long, like an hour long, and then you have to do the task. So I would give it like number 3. Number 2 would be college algebra, just because the concepts I can recall them from the past. I have taken math in sophomore year and it's basically the same thing. So that would be that. And number 1 would be accounting, because the concepts just keep getting harder every week. It sounds very low, but it is very time consuming because you cannot do that like back to back. And sometimes things come up, you have to go out sometime on Monday, Tuesday. So just gonna, and I have been having a lot of appointments and a lot of like places I need to be. So it just kind of keeps going back and forth. So it does add up. And the only thing I think I would say to manage my time that I do that works for me is plan ahead. As in, literally, when you have Sunday night and you know Monday is your weekly start, I would look at all of my assignments, all of the things that I know are coming up right now, and I will plan when I'm going to do what. Okay, Monday is for micro, English, music. And if there's a music test that week and it doesn't open till Thursday, which I know, so I'm gonna move music there, and then I can put info systems on Monday because I have that slot open for homework. So basically, planning ahead and knowing what is coming up, knowing what assignment you're gonna be working on that week, and putting it in the right place along with your events just helps you so much. It gives you an idea of when you can do what, if you can fit it in. And of course, for me, social media is also a commitment, also a weekly thing. So this kind of goes usually Wednesdays or Thursdays of the week, because that's when I'm almost done with my homework. But you get the point. Planning ahead is my major thing, okay? Like, you have to plan out and schedule out your week, and you have to have a backup. That's it. One more thing, if you know that your assignment for, let's say, your English essay is due on Monday night, you will never schedule English for Monday afternoon. Why? Because you never know what comes up, and you never leave it for last minute. Why would you do that? Okay, always keep it, if not 2 days, which I like to do, if not 2 days, keep it 1 day ahead. Now for me, all of the assignments are due Mondays or Tuesdays of the next week, so luckily I can schedule it out throughout the week. But not all of the people have that option. Some people have it due Thursday nights, discussions. I would try to get it done on Tuesday, because you never know what happens. And if you have an event that's coming up, you still have 2 more days. Or if you have an emergency or any other unplanned thing going on, you can still push it back and do your work, and your assignment would not be late. So not only is it important to know what you're going to be working on and estimate how many hours it's going to take you and then schedule it accordingly with your events, it is also important that you keep the deadlines in mind and always put it 1 or 2 days ahead of the actual deadline. This is just me. That is how I'm overwhelmed, but I still have not missed a single assignment. I also like to keep a checklist of everything that I gotta do for each class, and then I check it out. And I know some people use calendars, but notes is what works for me. I just go on here a lot, and it's just very easy to like reach. And along with that, I actually also add in any events that are coming up. And I know I said like to-do list, but it is not actually to-do list. It's a lot of tasks that I need to do. If I need to go fill up my gas, right, I will put it down so I can schedule for it. And I update this thing like daily. I just updated this like today, like 2 hours ago. Basically, all of these things. And if you guys want to know how I do the to-do list thing, I can put it up. I can make a short video about it. So let me know. But I think that would be basically it for my managing time. I made a TikTok about this, like a very detailed TikTok about this when I first started content creation, but I think I did not make a YouTube video about this. But these habits genuinely help you manage your schedule, time, and make sure you never miss an assignment. while also attending and being present at all of those events that you have going on. Anyways, that was some of the tips and ways that I manage my time and my schedule and make sure never miss any assignment. Now let's talk about if I would do this again. And I think this is where the drama comes in, because you're like, Eshhh, you talk about like leveling up and you always talk about pushing yourself, like challenging yourself, blah, 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 blah. Would you do this again? My answer is yes and no. Okay, Ash, how are you gonna do it and not do it at the same time? Well, okay, hear me out. I would do it, but I will definitely consider the workload that it takes me with each single course that I'm planning to take the semester of 18 credits. Like I told you earlier, this is what I did not consider. I did not consider how long it's actually going to take me to do one class and what the workload is going to look like. If I had 3 tests a week, heaviest of the courses, will I be able to handle that workload? Would I have enough time to study while also having a life, right? Right now, my answer is no, I don't. And I actually do have 3 tests this week in the 3 of the hardest courses, right? Time consuming, like lockdown browser, webcam, everything, right? So it is very stressful, and I would not have a schedule like this again with 18 credits in it. Now, I would not even have accounting, math, and other time consuming courses in the same slot. I don't know if this is me or like a lot of people, I think, do the same thing. They take math, they take science and science lab, which is like 3 hours long from what I've heard, and then they take another finance course, whatever. Props to you. I cannot do that, okay? Like I need to have a little bit of chill time, which is what all the English, humanities, arts courses are, and then a little bit of like workload. So I do think that I'm a little more heavily loaded by very, very time consuming courses. So I would plan it out, but if I have a planned out and balanced schedule in terms of like loaded workload and like less workload, I would definitely take 18 courses again. No, because same reason, I do not want to have this much workload where I cannot do an assignment until the last day that it's due. And not because I was slacking, not because I was procrastinating, not because I was busy living life, but just because I cannot find a way to do it earlier because I just have so much work to do. So in that case, no, I would not want to do it again. In the end, it is for the long term. It is because I want to graduate early and want to get out of here early because I have other life goals. But yeah, that explains that. Anyways, if you're thinking of taking 18 credits and you know you're gonna have a lot of club commitments and a work commitment, for example, volunteering, whatever, I really want you to sit down before you sign up for those 18 credit courses and check every single thing out. The course workload, how many hours it's gonna realistically take you. What happens if you have an emergency? Can you shuffle your schedule around in a way that you can still manage to meet all the deadlines and not let it dread you? And at the end, like, can you balance it all? Because you need to have a life outside of education. You need to have a life outside of courses and education. If 18 credits are not going to let you do that after a calculation, it's not worth taking. Or at least it's worth thinking about twice, okay? Anyways, that's all I got for you. Hopefully you guys learned something. Hopefully I was able to give you some tips. But yeah, that's all. And I'll see you guys next Saturday. Thank you so much for watching. I love you all. For now, take care.